Now, earlier in studio, I visited with Tim Berg, who you just met, Chuck Mills, the former State Chamber President and Chairman of Mills Machine Company, and Marty Lewis, a longtime educator in both common education and with CareerTech. Now, I want to hear each of your perspective on the importance of workforce to your community, and I really want to start off with the man that does the hiring, and that would be Chuck Mills.
Well, obviously workforce is important. We can't operate machinery and help our customers unless we've got qualified skilled workers. And it's changed a lot. My company was founded in 1908, so we're a 108-year-old company that continues to have to reinvent itself continually, which means that we've got to have people that understand the technology differences. We're competing globally now. And even though we're an old line company, we have to continue to embrace the technology, and it takes people to do that. Unfortunately, there's been a big push for our kids just to go to college. And a lot of them don't go to college, or they go and they don't complete their college. And we need to encourage people to that there is a good skill and a good wage to be learned in manufacturing or construction or a lot of other type of businesses that don't require a college degree. They do require some certification. But things have changed and the work ethic has changed, obviously. We have different generations that have lost that pride in workmanship. I heard the other day that the word curiosity, that they have lost curiosity, any curiosity of finding anything, because you think about it, any answer they want is right on their phone. They can just Google it. And so they're not thinking like they were. They don't problem solve like they were. So it's a problem for us. And there's nothing worse than going out for a business owner, going out, earning good business, giving good customer service, building a good reputation, and then having to turn that business away because you don't have qualified workers to do the job. It'll kill your soul.
Marty, I really want to get your reaction to what Chuck just said, not only about the training, but how it's ever evolving.
I think that's maybe not a difficulty for education, but that's one of the things that's somewhat exciting about education, is that we have the opportunity to try to evolve along with business and industry. We very much pride ourselves at Gordon Cooper Technology Center and within the CareerTech system that we do shift on the fly as we need to with new technologies, new forms of innovation, etc. It's both exciting and kind of frustrating at times because it is difficult to keep up with those kinds of things. But I understand, Chuck's thoughts, and I would agree with them very much so. I think the challenge is for us to understand that everything we do in one way or another connects to the workforce. It would be my hope that eventually we kind of stop talking about college and career ready and understand that everything that goes on in some way, shape, or form connects to careers. In my world of education and training, I truly do understand how critically important workforce development is, because Chuck hit the nail on the head. If I've got local companies, or we've got companies in this state that cannot find the workforce, it will not matter the tax incentives, it will not matter the infrastructure, it will not matter the quality of life. They're not going to come here unless they can be assured that they're going to have workers to make the kinds of products and services that they want to do within the state of Oklahoma. It's of critical importance.
Yeah, and in changing those attitudes, that really even extends past the CareerTech or before the CareerTech back to the Common Ed.
It does. They are setting the seeds both academically and from a work ethic standpoint that will eventually contribute to the workforce. Many times when I'm speaking publicly, I will talk about the fact when everything is said and done, almost all people will have to get a JOB. And so even though a kindergarten teacher or a first grade teacher or even a college professor in a social science area may not view their role as developing a workforce, they are having an effect and many times a very positive effect on people that will enter the workforce. And so by virtue of that, they are very much in workforce development. And I would really hope that we would embrace that notion throughout all levels of education and training and understand workforce in a much broader sense than simply preparing someone for a job. It's much more important and much more involved than simply that.
Yeah, and you know, I guess I should say this here. This is a challenge that we're all facing across the state, across the country, and in many ways, Pottawatomie County, Shawnee, is handling it very well. We talked about the poster there on the wall, and I know that you bill your area as a trained to suit area, Tim.
Yes, sir. You know, back to the conversation about skilled employees. Without skilled employees, nothing else matters. People all over the United States have land, they have available buildings, or they'll build a building, they have different finance programs, and have all kinds of different incentives and resources that they can offer a business to expand, to relocate, to grow, to do whatever. But without a skilled workforce, nothing else matters. Now, you and I had the conversation about suit to train, and the great thing about the state of Oklahoma, and what I think is the best in the nation, is the CareerTech system, and I'm highly biased with that. But we're talking about something that a company from overseas can come to Pottawatomie County and talk about locating a manufacturing facility, and we may not have a skilled workforce in the community at that point in time that can do the work that they want done. However, we can sit down with Mr. Lewis and his staff, and literally he can turn on a dime and provide the skills employee training that company will need. And I don't think there's a lot of other places in the United States, even maybe even the world a little bit, that can do that. So we've got a suit to train based upon what the company's needs are.